Hey guys, this is your girl Favour and you're welcome to my channel. And today, as you can see, we have the one that always gets away because he never wants to be here for some reason I don't understand. Anyways, we have the Mr. the love of my life here with us today. Okay. So whatever. So do we even need introduction? I don't think he needs introduction. This is not his first time, even though he doesn't really like to show himself. Anyways, for those of you that don't know, this is my husband and the father of my child so far.
For children.
He's father of my children, okay, but he's one so far.
Okay.
Anyways, so today we are going to be discussing a very interesting topic that you guys have hounded me with: how we met. So he's going to do the honors. He's going to start.
How will I start?
You will start, Ojari.
How?
Because it's you that made the first move now, so start.
Okay. Okay. It was way back actually, on the August of 2013.
Okay.
Should I got that right?
Yes. Thank God for that one.
So, yeah, they came to my studio to do an album actually. I was fresh out of school. I've been staying in Port Harcourt then I came back to my base. So they came.
Who is the day?
I knew that some important people were coming to my office that day.
Who is the day?
Your family now. You, your mom was there too. Your dad, the siblings, everybody was there. Everybody.
Music. That's how we go for recording.
That's how they go for recording actually.
Everybody.
So they came. I don't know how, I don't know why, but
let's just call it divine something.
I saw her. I saw everybody, but I saw her. She was just the one I was seeing.
Please say the truth.
For real.
Say the truth.
I'm lying or what?
I don't know. Anyway.
There was this elegant thing about her. There was the way she was carrying herself. She was so beautiful. She was so elegant. She carried herself like a queen actually. I was like, no, I can't let this pass. Because they don't come outside. You hardly see them outside. And going to their house was out of the question. Our family friends actually.
Our fathers are friends. We never knew ourselves.
Never knew ourselves, but our fathers knew themselves. So on seeing her, that I knew that this was an opportunity I wouldn't let pass. I have to get number. I must collect number. So you know now.
But he did not collect number. I was sent to collect number from him because my father's phone died.
Whatever, it was just the will of God. All I know is that I just knew I had to get the number.
Well.
And the dad is like an eagle. His eyes are everywhere.
Well.
I had to find a way to corner and get the number without him asking questions. But as you can see, by God's grace, it's worked out on its own without me doing sharp guy. So that was it.
Sharp guy, come.
We met in the studio, in my studio, back then in 2013.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
That was okay. Anyways.
Did I miss anything?
No, that was okay. We just got back from school, we did rehearsals and stuff. We knew we were going to a different studio, but I never knew him.
Because that was the first time I was working with them. I've never worked with them.
We went to other studios. They had like 2 studios we worked with, but for some reason I don't understand, we had to go to his because his dad was an engineer. So it's like music runs into both families. His father was a sound engineer, and somehow he ended up doing that. Anyways, so we went to their studio, or his studio, and well, I wasn't really paying attention to this young man because we came there for serious business. And me, I don't have eye for that kind of thing.
And
this is my life.
And I said I worried. You see a girl like sparks like this now.
In this my life, I said, see, I don't want to be Xing anywhere and Xing anyhow. And so I was like, I wasn't even paying attention to him. I knew what we came to do. I was like, let's do business and get out of here. That's just it. Anyways, somehow we greeted, of course, did whatever we came to the studio to do. And we talked a little, and it happened that just a little, it happened that we had interest in gadgets, because way back when I had interest in gadgets, I knew what was the latest invention when it comes to gadgets. Anyways, so somehow my father's phone battery died. I don't even understand. There was constant light there. I don't get it. His phone died, and he was like, I should collect his number. I don't even get
God's master plan.
till today. I don't even understand how my father told me to collect his number. Okay, so I collected his number and called him. I was like, okay, this is my number, I think. Yeah, so, and I got home. We started chatting. He now on WhatsApp, because WhatsApp was already existing there.
Yeah.
So we started chatting on WhatsApp. He was like, yeah. So from there, he asked me for my BBM pin. Oh God, when BlackBerry was the thing, and I gave it to him. So of course the discussion just flowed like that, because we had common interest in music, kind of, in gadgets, mostly in gadgets. And it happened that he likes to browse, and I like to browse. And I never knew that there was this man that my dad would always come back and say, whenever I meet this man, I am edified. Whenever I meet, this is somebody I know that wants to go to heaven. I never knew it was his dad. Because there is no how my dad will meet with his dad and come back and not say what he learned from his dad. That's their friendship. But as the children now, we never got to meet. He knew them. His father, I don't think, really knew us, except for maybe TV. But my dad knew them all very well. Anyways, so that's how we met. That's how we started discussing. But we lost touch. No, we didn't lose touch.
Oh, you never really lost touch.
We didn't lose touch. He now, from discussing normal things, the brother wanted to play smart. So he started, toasting. And
now, the crazy thing, let me come in now. That was 2013. In my mind, I actually felt I was ready for marriage. But now I knew I wasn't ready for marriage. But I actually told her that time, I'm going to marry you. I told her.
In 2 years. You said in 2 years.
It doesn't. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
You said in 2 years.
It's, at least I have proposed partially. I told her I'm going to marry you. Then I was in the normal, now trying to wriggle my way into her heart. And this one, ice cream, serious problem. But I think I made a little impact, because if I didn't, it would have been more difficult after everything. So continue.
Yeah. So the brother was asking for, now relationship, and me, I said, one, I was in school. I think I was in year 2. I just finished year 2. I was getting to year 2, my 3rd year in school. So I wasn't really listening to that. And to tell you the truth, they friend zone some people. This one, my brother zoned him. That was how I started telling him how, since I don't have, because he's very intuitive. Like, he thinks deep, even though he doesn't really like to accept it. So, like, when you discuss something with someone that is very matured in the mind, you get. So I was like, I like you as a brother. I didn't even say I like you as a friend. I like you as a brother. So I brother zoned this young man. Can you imagine? He's still my brother in the Lord. He's still my brother in the Lord. Anyways, I brother zoned him, but he refused to stay in that zone. He was still pressuring to come out. But after much pressuring, I said, okay, you know what? Let's try this thing safe.
So the pressure paid off
whatever.
To an extent.
Whatever. Whatever.
Okay.
I just said, let's try this thing. But the truth be told, I liked him.
Continue.
Please.
Continue with the truth.
I liked him, yes. I accept. And I love him now. Then it was just like, I was just liking the young man. I was like,
quite touching.
Yeah. It's quite touching. I was liking the young man. But I was like, okay, it's part of those things. It's not like I was taught it's not bad, it's not wrong that you like someone, but you can control it, you understand? So I was doing my best as usual to control whatever likeness or crush it was, because like my mom will always tell you, it is a crush it. So
So you're trying to crush the crush.
I was trying to crush the crush.
My crush.
Yes, whatever.
So,
You know, it's my own crush that I was trying to crush.
it's still mine because it's me that you were crushing on.
Whatever. I was trying to crush the crush, but I finally gave in. I was like, okay, let me just try this. But yeah, I finally accepted. This young man was like pressuring me every day from that August till like ending of September, when I finally decided to
give it a try.
Every day. So that was how. That one is E.
Now let's clarify something.
It's E-dating.
Because for the whole duration of that dating, of whatever it was, we only met once, and it was on the road, like 5 minutes. She was sent to an errand or something, and I had to wait her somewhere.
I went to bank.
That was it.
I went to withdraw money, and he was like, "Where are you?"
WhatsApp.
I told him I went to bank to withdraw. I went to withdraw. Whatever. It was E-dating. Wait, funny thing is that we didn't live far from each other.
Yeah.
But let my father not catch you. If my dad had caught him, the kind of sermon I would have heard, someone I'd have heard before, and then plus additional ones. And trust me, I wasn't ready to hear that sermon, because I already knew that if Pastor Iweze hears this, voila. So I said, "Oh, guy, it's going to be E something, WhatsApp only,
it wasn't
BBM." Well, that's the way it was.
Yeah, that's the way it was. That was how it went. It was an E relationship, like she would say, and it was short-lived. It wasn't up to a year, was it?
Yeah, Kini. Broke it off in January. I broke it off in January.
So you can see, very short-lived E relationship. It wasn't funny. And anyway, the only thing I can actually say was that during that short spell, I actually found myself drawn closer to God than I had been for most of my life. Actually, it's not like I was a stranger to the whole thing, but you know, I was being casual about it until I met this young lady, and she was all about God. I was like, well, let's go do God, and maybe something will come out of it. So yeah, that was that was my first step, or the first time I was actually serious about spiritual things, because I met her. And it hasn't really changed, because right from that day till now we have been growing. Yeah.
So January, like, he still used to call me scaredy cat. I don't care. I don't care. Call me scaredy cat all you want. I know myself. I'm not a scaredy cat. I'm just very cautious.
There's a
Be
thin line
cautious.
There's a very thin line
scared.
between being cautious and being scared.
Okay.
Yes.
Please, dude.
You're a
Please.
scaredy cat.
I'm not. I'm just cautious. Very cautious. Okay. Wait, so January, somehow, see, you cannot hide something from a spiritual man. Somehow, my dad found out. How he found out, I did not know. He just called me because we were about to go back to school. He called me and was like, "Favour, be truthful with me." And whenever he starts with "be truthful with me," you better be truthful. Have you ever told any guy that you love him? I told him, yeah, I've told people that I love them. He said, I said, guy, a boy, or a man, do you love him? I said, well, people like on Facebook, because it was basically Facebook then, and Twitter. On Facebook, I'll be like, people will say, I love you and all that, and I'll be like, I love you too, with the love of the Lord. I was still trying to evade the question, and the more I evaded the question, the closer and the more targeted he was making the question. I mean, he said, I didn't say Facebook. I mean, have you personally now told, and in fact, are you in a relationship with anybody? I didn't know how to lie. I didn't know how to say the truth. But I didn't want to answer the question, so I just kept mute. So he was like, you know what, go and sleep. We are traveling back to school tomorrow, and he used to carry us to school. So he was like, you know how early we leave, so just go and sleep. I went to sleep, and when he was in the morning, when he was dropping us off, we had to drop off somewhere first before he drove us to school. While we dropped, he told my brother, he told Joshua, because he was in the car with us, to just step out, that he's coming. He asked me again that question I asked you last night. I still mean it. Be truthful with me right now. This is the last time I'll ask you this question, and you better be truthful in that last time.
I can imagine how your heart was pounded.
Hey, Jesus Christ. It's not only pounded. Muscle and all the mortar and pestle. A big pestle. That's like they were pounding pepper inside my heart. I just told the man the truth. Told him everything. Was like, do you know how young you are? And all that. Well, he was like, so he of course gave me the sermon of why it is better. Of course, he never knew that by myself I'd already decided I didn't want to do all this dating and stuff until time for marriage. But I caved in because of this young man. Can you imagine?
Something was special about me.
Please.
She couldn't place it then, but
please.
Yeah. Something was
special. Well, yes, something was special about him. He's special.
I beg. Continue. Stop rubbing my back.
I'm not.
Continue.
Anyways, so that was how the discussion ended after the sermon. We continued with what we had to do that day. That night, I think it was on 4th of January or something. That night of 2014. That night, after we had cooled off from unpacking and sweeping and arranging and everything, I just went by the staircase of my lodge and called him. And trust me, I didn't want to cry, because if I had cried, of course he could hear the crying voice. So I had to be brave. I told him, brother, see this thing? Let's call it off. You know what? I am done.
That was how she broke my heart too.
I am done. Who broke your heart? Which heart?
Oh,
I am done. I am done. That was how I broke it. I broke it off, and
okay, my heart, right?
I did not break your heart. I broke off the relationship, whatever.
Okay.
And I deleted his number immediately from my phone. And the funny thing is, my phone had, because when I was traveling back to school, I locked my phone, so it had a password, and my password was the last 4 digits of this.
Are you kidding me?
He's hearing it for the first time.
This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Well, it was last 4 digits of his phone number. I had to change the password too, because anything that would remind me of him, I had to get rid of. So all the chats on WhatsApp, I had to delete. I had to delete the whole chats after deleting his number. Delete the whole chats on BBM, everything, just to make sure there is no memory of the young man. And then life went on from 2014. We never spoke again until when? I think, when did I graduate? 2015. I graduated 2015. Until 2015. That was even 1 year. It even seemed longer.
Like a lifetime, actually.
Jesus, I actually thought it was like 3 years. Okay, it's only 1 year. Wow. Only 1 year and some months. So, I'm even the only one saying, like, you do not remember anything.
I'm very terrible with dates.
Whatever.
She knows that.
Men are terrible with dates. Men, I've noticed, all of them. There are very, very few of them that will remember dates. So it's not like he's the only one. I'm used to
At
it
least
already.
I'm not worried about that, because if it's only me, then I know that something is wrong. Well, at least it's our thing.
Yes.
You understand? So,
Which is our thing. That film, why don't you join the film that
I remember
dates?
the important ones. The very important ones. I don't forget them. At least I try.
So these ones are not important.
Yeah, I said very important. They are important, and they are very important dates. You understand? The ones that actually changed lives. You understand? I remember those ones.
So you said not really break his heart, because if I had broken his heart, you remember the dates.
No, I can't even.
If I had broken his heart, you remember the
You're not
dates.
serious.
Well,
So,
2015, when I got back from school, after I was done with my, I wasn't done with my project, but I returned from, I was just done with my exams, but not project. So project defense and stuff. So for some reason, I just felt this deep, not just deep, it was just a nudge to call him, a persistent nudge from while in school, from when I was writing my exam. I don't know why, to call him. So I was like, nah, who is this one? Well, the thing persisted, like every day. I just feel like, and the funny thing is, I'll go through my number and his number is not there, because I already deleted it out of, I don't want to remember this human being. So it continued. I didn't really pay attention to the I won't call it a feeling. It was a very strong one, a very, very strong one. It was just more like a leading. Yeah, I was really led to call him, but I was like, why am I calling him? I don't have any business with him. So after I got back from school, I told my sister that for some reason, because this whole thing, my sister was the only one that actually knew everything from onset, when he was pestering me, and when I accepted, and when I broke it off and all that. So I told you, Joyce, because as you all know now, she's my best friend. So I told her, she was like, if you are being led so strongly to call him, and you said you've been led, this has been going on for some time, why not just call him, know how he's faring? And why am I even calling him? I don't know. So I went to my dad's phone, got his number, of course, make sure my dad does not know, got his number and called him. I was like, obviously, because I used to change numbers regularly, so obviously he didn't have that number. I told him who was calling. I was like, I just want to know how you are, how you're feeling, how are you, how is your spiritual life, and that was it. And I called the call. So like that, the young man had my number till today.
that number has lasted.
That number has lasted. I might change it just for the sake of changing. Anyways, so we just got talking from then on. I don't know if I was back, but we just got talking from then till when I went to service. Once in a while we call each other, once in a while we chat. It was not like really serious chats, but yes. Yeah, then why did I even forget that he still continued that he's still interested. So I went back to school. He followed me back to school. Not like he followed me. He knew I was traveling to school that day. So he came that day also. He didn't have any business to do there. He just came to meet me. How special your girl is. Even though he does not want to accept it. But
why wouldn't I accept that? You're the most special.
Thank you. How special and all that your girl is. So he came, he met me. And I still told him no. And I was even doing marketing.
I wanted to do market that day. Sold one nonsense thing to me like that.
Whatever.
For a very expensive price. I had to pay.
You bought it is the main thing. Yeah, he still bought it. Well, then I love the shack up. He still bought it.
As well.
He still bought it. So
I've suffered.
Suffered from what?
In your hands.
In my hands. Abi, you have been blessed. Just see. Bible said, he that findeth a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Can you even imagine?
Now.
Please.
I'm talking about what she did in the past.
I not even do anything. I not even show you Pepe.
In your mind.
I not even show you Pepe.
Alright, so
no, I still told him no. I still marketed my stuff. He bought it. That was it. So, but we kept talking until like 2017, when I was like that was my service year. So he was, whenever we talk, I'll be like, Uncle, when are you getting married? I want to wear a shebi.
And that's thing pain me. It always pains me, but she never knew. I'll be like, see this person I want to marry. She's asking me when are you getting married, and not
I
to
was
her,
always
to someone else.
asking that question. See, bros, I want to wear Ashebi. I want to wear sweep the town that day. Tell me when the wedding is happening. Let me come.
Well,
That was a constant. We can't finish speaking, and I will not ask him that question. Well, he had other plans. My dad once came back and was like, that because I think he went to do something there. That he
in my office, right?
Yes. And you know the funny thing, when that period I was feeling led to call him, that same period we came to his studio again for some reason to work. And that I didn't talk to him. I didn't even greet him. My dad called me and said, I did not say you should not greet him. Oh. For what? Why will you just come and keep straight face? Why? I did not say are you enemies? Oh yeah? He then told me I can greet him. Be free, talk with him. I was like, oh, wow. Well, we didn't really talk shy because I was like, let me not even get like myself so involved with the young man. But after I had called him, he already had my number, so once he will call. And before, sometimes I'll be like, okay, let me call and check on him and know how he is doing. So 2017, then 2018, he called me. I was like, he wants to see me. I was like, ha. Well, this guy sing. Doesn't mean we've been seen as once in a while before then, but he said he wants to see me, like he wants to go out. I wouldn't call that a date. Anyway, from how he said it, it didn't sound like a date. I was like, Sha, call my dad. I didn't want to call him because
Since I went through.
what things did you want to please? Like call him. So that he will. My dad didn't know that he had my number, or did he know?
I don't think so.
He didn't know that we had each other's number though. So I told him to call my dad because my dad didn't know that he had my number. So call my dad and tell him. So he called me. He was like, "Nah, my dad is this guy. He can get what he wants because trust me, my dad will not come back. Once my dad will come back and be like, the reason why he likes Obina is because." This one, that thing used to pay me that time. He used to be painful. I like, if they tell you do this, and then he will cite him as an example. Chai, like, why are you trying to remind me? Cuckoo, Shebi. Anyways, that one is forgotten story. So, he called my dad, and as he said, my dad is this guy. My dad gave him the number that he didn't know he had already. And set up a meeting. Yeah, I didn't know it was a date. It was a meeting to me. And when we went to the place, he was asking me. We discussed normally. Then he was asking me, are people coming? Me now, I was thinking I was talking to my friend because the funny thing is that we happen to be good friends, even though we didn't talk too often, but we talked about serious stuff, you know. And for some reason, I was too open to him.
Likewise, me actually.
I was too open to him. So when he told me any guy, I told him, no, I'm not in a relationship, but I told him this person is coming, and you know, for hand the marriage and stuff. I know that the reason why he was asking was to know his position. After he just waited for me to conclude, he now landed with his own proposal, and he said, even before I answered, he said, I know you want to say he will pray and think about it, so don't pray and think about it. I still have to say it by myself, please. I told him, yes, well, I will pray and think about it. Even though you now pray and think about it, I will still shall pray and think about it. So you can now tell your own part, Sha.
Alright. My own part, I would tell the part that she didn't tell because that's my own part. Actually, she didn't. But I later told her, see what happened. But back then, she didn't know what happened. Around that 2017, we were still very good friends, actually, and I don't know how it happens back then, but I found it easier to confide in her, even my secrets and things that maybe I wouldn't want to tell anyone else. I don't know why I don't know why. It's not like she was the only person I was in good terms with, but this is somebody I'm not dating you, and yet I tell you some things that maybe I wouldn't even be able to tell someone I'm dating. That's just the truth. And to be honest, back then I didn't really have much romantic feelings for her anymore because of the years that has gone by, and you know how those things tend to be with distance. We hardly see. So the feelings were actually almost, look, let me say they were dormant. That means they were still there, but they were lying still, and I didn't know. So back then, there was one night I was in my house around 10 in the evening. I was in a relationship actually then. She knew I was in a relationship.
And I was telling him to make an honest woman out of her. to call where the sound will come.
Yes. And the thing was always sounding, I don't know why, but it was sounding strange in my ears back then. I was in a relationship that I was actually serious with. Now I was planning to end the marriage actually. And then that evening around 10, I was in my house alone, and then my dad sent me a message. See, today he that sent that message, he hasn't really understood why he sent that message. Me that got the message, I've not really been able to figure out why that message, but he sent me a message. That message was, why don't you propose to Favour? My dad knew I was in a relationship and I was serious with that relationship. He knew I've taken the girl to see them. That was the point we've gotten to. Then out of the blues, I got that message from him in the night around past 10. Why don't you propose to Favour? I read that message. I was a bit irritated with it. I was like, why this? Then I became amused with that same message. So I had to take a screenshot of that message. There's a family WhatsApp I have with my siblings. I sent it to them there. I was like, see what that send me. This man is funny, and we laughed about it. But that thing, I don't know if it was like that text message was like a reawakening, or maybe somebody pouring water on a seed that has been on dry ground that's waiting to grow. And that was how the whole thing started. The whole feeling started coming back small. I was fighting with the fact that that if this thing keeps going this way, I'm going to end up disappointing someone else's daughter, which is the last thing I wanted. Well, that was how I couldn't stop it. It kept growing until I couldn't help myself. I had to call her and ask her, can we see? She said no. That one was, as in, it was strange, because the funny thing was, before that, once in a while she might come to my studio, because then there was this photo studio that someone was running for me. She would come there and take picture. So she was free to come around my office and take picture, or maybe once in a long while come for and come to the office and maybe stay for like 5 minutes and go. Then this time around, I'm calling you for something serious, and you're telling me I'll have to call your dad.
I actually didn't know it was a serious matter, Whatever.
Of course, I know. I'm talking about from my own side. And I couldn't understand that thing. That was another serious battle I had to fight. I was like, why would I call your dad? I refused in my mind. I didn't tell her. I refused that. I decided that I would never do that.
But we were like, he's your guy. He can get what she
that
wants.
was later now. And I was like, if I keep pressing, she will give in. So I kept trying. At the point I realized that this young lady was serious, so that I must call the dad first before I can see her. After everything, I decided to give in. Well, you want something, you have to go through the hoops and do whatever it takes to get it. So I had to call the dad. And in my mind, I don't know why, I had that conviction that this is already a done deal.
What?
Yes, in my mind.
I would have said no.
You could have said no, but he didn't. So I don't know why there was this conviction that this was a done deal. So I called the dad, asked for her number, asked for his permission to take the doctor out and discuss. He was like, is everything okay?
Yeah, that is a sharp man.
Yes.
Sharp guy.
So he said no problem, that he will see to it that it happens. I said no problem. So he gave me the number that I already had, like you said. So we set up a meeting, and well, she had said everything else. And now the next thing that happened was, after telling me that she was going to pray. That prayer was a long one. For one, when you are in a haste to get something, 5 minutes is a long time. So I was in a haste for this to happen, and it was seeming like forever. She was praying forever, and then for number two was that it actually was forever. She really took her time. This one, she takes her time. She doesn't. She never.
Please, you cannot
rushes
come and
anything.
make. You can't come. You see,
She takes things. She's a thinker. She analyzes a lot. So most times things don't go past her without noticing. She will not talk initially, but eventually she will speak her mind. So I think that was what happened. She really took me through the process, and the whole whatever to her normal process and some more, because for her that was a serious case.
She's a lifetime something. And
also,
the kind of consideration I give him, I'd never given any other guy that kind of consideration, because if I don't, there's no point telling you to call my dad or to come and meet my friend. I'll just there and then, or maybe give you a few a few moments or weeks and be like, dude, that's it that you asked me a while back. No. But for some reason I told him to call my dad. But anyways, I just did it. No reason per se. And I took my time because this is a lifetime something. Like in my head, I already knew what I wanted my marriage to be. I don't want marriage whereby it's going to be an official kind of marriage. Because I now have seen a lot of official marriages where, you know, wife and husband, that kind of thing. I just wanted someone. Yes, he's my friend. I wanted someone that would remain, that I would be friends with and will remain friends with in the marriage. That would be just more than husband and wife. And apart from that, you know, someone that both spiritual and everything you just connect with. You get. So I didn't want to make any mistake in that one. There's no, when it comes to marriage, there's no maybe or I feel. You have to be sure. But I think someone once asked me, I feel the Holy Spirit. My dear, if there's nothing like I feel the Holy Spirit leading me. I know the Holy Spirit is leading me when it comes to marriage. It shouldn't be I feel the Holy Spirit leading me at all. So I had to be completely sure. And after some time, I was done with the thought and praying process. And while on that, this young man thought I would be calling him, like in his mind. He once called me and was like, you don't even call somebody at all. Ashu, am I owing you? In my head, that was what I actually thought. Am I owing you? Yeah. See, I told you I want to think about it, so give me time. Give me time to think about it. So to him, he felt I should be calling him. For some reason, I don't understand. Yes,
my friend.
I was calling him as we were friends before the proposal, but after the proposal, the call stopped. I was like, I need a clear head. Let it not be because this guy is my friend. I need my head to be clear when making a decision. So it's not just be feelings. I right from time, I've always believed that marriage, love should be head and heart. Because trust me, feelings can be very deceptive, so I didn't want feelings to get in the way. Well, after I was done with my decision making and prayer and getting answers, I met my dad. Because my dad already knew he made the proposal, because of course after I returned from you, this is a meeting my dad knew
what's happening.
So when I returned, I told him the outcome of the meeting. He was like, okay, Shebi, you said you pray and think. Well, I can pray and think now and tell us what you have gotten as your answer. So one night I woke him up and told him, after we had prayed, he said, are you sure? I told him yes. He said, okay, but just pray for 1 more week. And there was a time I called him and told him I wanted to meet him. He thought he was to say yes. He was asking more questions. And then after we had parted ways, he called me and said, you said you wanted to meet me, and you made me I actually made him leave work. He said, I thought, and I rushed and thought it was you going to be accepted. Or not to him. And funny thing is, I had a book. I still have the book where I wrote questions I was going to ask him. Because trust me, I asked him a lot of, he knows now. See, I cannot be blank or nearly blank. I have to know a lot of things. The way you answer me, the way you answer some certain questions, of course, will give me an indication as to whether am I wasting my time praying or not. And he was, of course, even though it's not all about the questions, trust me, the leading of the Holy Spirit is very important, but you still got to ask those questions. They are also important. So I called him that day to ask him extra questions from the ones that I already asked him, and that was after my dad had already told me to pray for one more week. So, and I prayed for an extra week, and the leading was still same. And I told my dad this, and he was like, okay, that's the reason why he told me to pray for one more week is for serious clarity, for me to have a clear answer from God, because it's not like he was not. That's why it's good to have parents that are deeply rooted in Christ, because as I was praying, I never knew that they were also doing their own praying. And to my dad, then of course, since my dad already knew them now, he'll now be giving me small gists from when he was small. Of course, that's why it was good for me that our fathers were friends, because my dad knew him from when he was born, actually. Well, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And I called him. And you know, the funny thing is that day I called you to, of course, indicate that I've accepted. We wore the same color clothes,
Like
almost
we
the
wore
same
uniform
pattern,
without planning it.
blue, black, and white.
It was weird.
His clothes was blue, black, and white. Mine was blue, black, and white. His own was patterned. It's not like check kind of thing,
Yeah.
like patterned. Mine was patterned, just like
Just
slightly
uniform,
different
slightly
pattern.
different.
It was like, oh yeah, when I came inside again, I was like, did you plan it?
How can I?
Eh? No, you asked me, did you plan it? I was like, am I in your house? Well, Sha, that day, before I answered the question, Sha, now, see, even if it is close to that 1 minute, we still have to do that. Hard to get. You say play hard to get, but Sha, don't play too much.
But in my mind, I was seeing through all that. I already knew I was victorious.
Oh, please.
Right from the moment I saw that blue clothes.
Can you imagine?
In my mind, I just
What
knew.
if that blue cloth was going to break it? And say
I was just sure. I don't know. Like I told you, from the first time, I just knew I was stepping in the right direction. You understand? And as of that moment that we were in that place, I was waiting for that. I just knew that I have triumphed.
Prophets in the
And
bosom.
yes, you are not serious. and yes, I did triumph. It's not easy, but it happened.
And well, you can see us here today,
Yeah,
married,
yeah.
with all that.
After suffering,
I'm not suffering anybody.
after passing me through.
I'm not passing through
hoops
anything.
and
Do
jumps.
you know what many people pass through?
If you see the questions she asked,
I'm not put it through anything.
questions
Oh please.
one by one, she was asking it, but as well,
Those
it
questions
was the will of God,
they
so
were to be clear, I beg.
it happened. Despite the questions and everything.
Yeah. So now you know how we met.
Yes.
I hope we still get him another time on this channel, because he can easily evade.
Yeah, I'm camera shy.
Very, very evasive. As you can see, he's acting not official. I begged him before this video, please, Oga, don't be official. Just be free. It's just me, you, and camera.
I don't know how to do that.
Nobody's behind the camera.
I still don't know how to do that.
Sha, he will get used to it. It takes getting used to. When we started the whole series, like not YouTube series, the singing thing, I wasn't used to camera, as a lot of people could tell. I wasn't used to camera, I wasn't used to stage, but see me now. It's nothing. Some people take to it very quickly, and some people, like us, take time. So I still believe that
I warm up to it, right?
not just warm up, you get hot to it. Very, very hot. So that it will be, because whether he likes or not, it is my channel, it is our channel. He was supposed to do the introduction. But he said, "Mm-mm, do your thing."
Yeah.
I'm doing my thing, but next time you introduce Sha.
We'll see about that.
He will introduce. So, guys, with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. So now you know how we met, how we proposed, how I accepted, and all that good stuff. So, with that, it's goodbye.
Bye.
Till next time. See, he's already leaving. Jesus.